Welcome back. All right, so we're going to review the final 5 games that were played today. A long day of hockey day in America. Long weekend for me. So looking forward to kind of an earlier night tonight than usual on a Sunday, I guess. And 2 months from now, it's playoffs. I'm always happy when it's playoffs because it's just the games mean more, and I have less hockey to watch. It's kind of a nice mix there. All right, so we're going to start off with Carolina and Buffalo. I will talk about it. So it's Martin versus Luukkonen. There's an early jump for the Sabres, but on their first shot, Carolina scores. It's D'Angelo from Bunting and Necas at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. The shots are 2 apiece at 5 minutes. Canes are crossbar away from 2-0. They do not get to 2-0 at that point. Slavin then has a screenshot that's saved. We get a power play for Buffalo. That's killed off. Thompson has a shot that's blocked. Pesce has a shot that's caught and held. Nason's denied. The Sabres rush. The Canes building some momentum, but they're unable to get another goal before the period's done. It's 1-0 Carolina after 1. Second period, Burns has a screenshot that's held. The Sabres draw a power play. There's a toe save on Thompson, and then Skinner, former Carolina Hurricane, he scores from Cousins and Alpozo at 6:27. He buries the rebound to tie it. The shots are 8-6 Buffalo at 9 minutes. Tuck has a tip shot that's held. The teams exchange rushes. Canes press at with 5 minutes left, and Teravainen would have had a goal, but the referee deems that it was a hand pass. It is not reviewable. Was it the wrong call? Yeah, wrong calls get made. And at the end, there were 59 minutes and 59 seconds away from that time that goal went in, where Carolina could have scored again, could have done something more. The reality is that this is just part and parcel of just people make mistakes. Happens. So the idea that everything should be reviewable, and I heard Tripp saying, oh, they should just let everything go if it's close. Let's not. The reason that the whole hand pass thing gets talked about now is because back in 2019, so at some point could they change that? They could. But this is the first time that I can remember seeing a referee say that a hand pass wiped out a goal, that it hasn't been untrue. And again, from a different angle, it would look like it was a hand pass. So, I understand the upset, but I don't see the whole, everybody's against Carolina portion of it. So the Sabres press with a minute and a half left. Thompson's denied on a 2-on-1 rush. It's 1-1 after 2. Third period, early edge for Carolina. And this is where Tracy's still talking about it. And Tripp, I just put on the board, Tripp needs to let it go. Jokiharju has a blast that's held. Skinner has a wraparound, near miss there. Cousins has a chance that's held as the Sabres press. Shea has a 3-on-2 chance that's saved. The shots are 5-3 for the Sabres at 6 minutes. We get a power play for Carolina. Burns has a shot that's blocked. That power play's killed off. The Canes press after it's done. Thompson has a wraparound that's blocked. Drury has a shot that's caught and held. The Canes press with 8 minutes left. There's a crossbar for Dahlin from the point. The Canes get a power play with 6 minutes left. They score on it. It is Marty Necas scoring to put them ahead 2-1. Shea and Teravainen with the assists at 14:42. It's a one-timer on a good cycle. But Buffalo answers. Owen Power wires one from the slot. Krebs and Benson with the assists at 15:55. Skinner then had an opportunity. Couldn't bury one in close. But yeah, we're going to overtime. The Canes control early. Thompson couldn't bury one. Gets a poke check from Spencer Martin. Jarvis has a net feed that's blocked. We end up going to the shootout. In the shootout, it is round 4 where Middlestad gets the winner. Buffalo, gutsy win. I had to wear Buffalo. They go to 27-27-4. Carolina with the shootout loss, 34-18-6. And like I said, I understand that goal being called back upsets people, but you don't know what would happen if that goal had counted. You don't know that Buffalo wouldn't have come back and found that goal. Again, it just changes the whole story if a goal counts or a goal doesn't count in a game. But shots on net in this one, 10-8 Carolina in the first, 12-7 Buffalo in the second, 13-11 Carolina in the third. In the overtime, the shots are 2-1 Carolina. The total shots are 32 each. Power plays 1 for 2 each. Hits were 20-14 Buffalo. Both goaltenders, Martin and Luukkonen, saved 30 out of 32. This was a very evenly matched game. Buffalo, much like Ottawa, it feels like they've got their game together, and it's very likely too late for them to get their game together and hope for playoffs. All right, next up, the Rangers and the Blue Jackets. Now, I've already seen he jinxed him. It's been shown this year my videos don't have any impact. Plus, the fact that the Rangers, their longest winning streak ever is 10 games. I wasn't around in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s to make a jinx happen. So it's just that when a winning streak ends, it's where people go, jinx. But when I did the Oilers 10-game winning streak and I had a bunch of people predicting this is going to jinx them, they won 6 more. So it's Quick versus Merzlikins in this one. Fox has a rebound on a rush chance. That's held. The Rangers press at a minute and a half. We had a fight between Rempe and Olivier tagged him. He tagged him. And of course, I'm talking right on the button. Yeah. The one thing I worry about with Rempe is that him challenging all of these heavyweights, he's going to end up getting hurt, is my concern. He's a rookie. He's a kid. He's fighting against some very experienced fighters. Olivier's very experienced. I do worry about him just fighting every game, and it just feels like the kid could end up getting hurt. And I like Rempe. So we get a power play for Columbus, and they score on it. Voronkov from Marchenko and Severson at 4:35. He buries that one from the side of the net. Shots are 5-4 Columbus at 7 minutes. Kreider fires one wide on a rush, and then Panarin ties it. He scores from Fox at 14:22. The Rangers then look for the lead. There's a post for VC on a fast break, and then on a hold by Quick, there's a bit of a dog pile at the net. It's 1-1 after 1. Second period, 18 seconds in, Marchenko buries one. He has a nice deke in close to do it. Voronkov and Chinakhov with the assists. And again, so the Rangers not really starting on time in the second period. Jackets then press for another. Things get pushy on a hold by Quick. There's more pressure by Columbus at 3 minutes. Rangers then press at 6.5 minutes, but the shots are 9-1 Columbus, 8 minutes in. We get a power play for New York. That's killed off, and then the Rangers tie it. One goes in off of Jake Bean's skate. Edstrom gets the goal from Rempe at 11 minutes and 11 seconds. And then Roslovic puts them back in the lead less than a minute later. 11:57 from Goudreau and Jenner on a 2-on-1 rush. You've always got to watch that shift after you get a goal. Rangers press for response. Columbus presses with 6 minutes left. They end up drawing a power play. That was killed off. No shots. And then the Rangers clear it out after. Rangers press with 2.5 minutes left. But on a rush, Columbus scores again. This time it's Provorov from Roslovic and Goudreau at 18:35. Things are kind of pushy at the horn, but yeah, it's 4-2 for Columbus after 2. Third period. Both teams defend well early. The shots are 2 apiece at 5 minutes. Werenski's denied. The puck's cleared out. Gustafsson has a shot that's blocked. Columbus rushes. The Rangers press at 9 minutes. We get a power play for Columbus with 7:17 left. That's killed off. The goalie pull happens with 3.5 minutes left. With 2:19 left, that becomes a 6-on-4. Zibanejad has a one-timer that's saved. That power play's killed off. Columbus wins 4-2. Columbus plays the Rangers tough. That's why I knew I had to get that 10-game winning streak video done this morning, because I thought, Columbus plays them tough. That could end the winning streak, and then what's the point of a 10-game winning streak if it's already over? So Columbus wins this one 4-2. They go to 19, 28, and 10 on the season. The Rangers 39, 17, and 3 with the loss. Shots on net 16-14 Columbus in the first, 14-8 Columbus in the second, 18-11 for the Rangers in the third. Final shots are 41-40 for Columbus. Power plays, the Rangers 0 for 2, Columbus 1 for 3. The hits 11-5 for Columbus. Quick saves 37 out of 41. Elvis saves 38 out of 40. So Elvis has himself a pretty good game. And if you're a Columbus fan, you're probably feeling pretty good about that result. All right, Detroit and Chicago. Reimer versus Mrazek. They had Chelios' number 7 going to the rafters. And, of course, a nice big welcome back to Patrick Kane. However, if you were trying to watch that on Sportsnet and you didn't have Sportsnet Plus, because the game wasn't being shown on any. Why are there 6 different Sportsnet channels? And they don't say, why don't we just have one of them cut to the other game? Nope, they don't do that. And there was overlap between a bunch of games today. The Nashville-Anaheim game, there was overlap too. I had to watch that on Sportsnet Plus as well. I'm not sure I understand the scheduling. If you're not going to show the start of the game, it just feels weird to me not to show the start of the game, which they didn't on regular TV here. So it's Reimer versus Mrazek, as I said. Early jump for Detroit. The shots are 2-0 in their favor 2.5 minutes in. Gostisbehere denied as the Wings press. Bedard nearly opens the scoring. They have a nice Kane tribute, which is where Sportsnet regular viewers came in after the tribute was done. And they're just showing him, with the stick salute and everybody cheering him. Anyways. Wings press at 9 minutes. Sherratt fires one wide on a rush. Blackwell has a rush chance, that's saved. Raymond has a screenshot, that's held. In the final minute, Detroit gets on the board. At 19-19, it's Sprong with a one-timer from the left circle. Fisher and Fabry with the assists. Dickinson nearly ties it on a fast break after, but it stays 1-0 Detroit after one. Second period, early press by Detroit. Confer is denied. The Hawks rush. Radish fires one wide on a net, or fans on one on a net drive, and then Entwistle gets Chicago on the board. He scores from Reese Johnson at 3:29. He wires that one from the slot. Raymond then has a net drive that's saved. Bedard's denied. The Wings rush. Wings press at 9 minutes, or with 9 minutes left, I should say, and then the Hawks press with 8 minutes left, so they were taking turns there. Shots are 8-5 Chicago with 4.5 minutes left. 3 minutes left, the Hawks get a power play and they score on it. It's a screen shot that ends up going off Foligno and it trickles through. Foligno with that goal from Bedard and Seth Jones at 17:52. Chicago's up 2-1 after two. Third period. Wings press at 3.5 minutes. Bedard has a net drive that's saved. Veleno has a chance blocked. Teams exchange rush opportunities. The shots are only 3 apiece at 7 minutes. Pretty good defense by both teams here. Teams exchange turnovers. The Wings press with 5 minutes left, and eventually DeBrincat banks one in from behind the goal line. So a little bit of a trick shot there. Kane and Gostisbehere with the assists of 15:44. That's goal number 150 these guys have combined on, I do believe. Believe that's what it was. I know that it was a 150. I think it's that they've combined on that many goals. Wings press with 2.5 minutes left, but yeah, we're going to overtime, as was the case with most of these games. Larkin has a net feed that's picked off. Jones is tonight on a rush, and then on a fast break, and you couldn't write this better, right? Patrick Kane scores at 1:43 on a breakaway by himself, and the Red Wings go in and beat Chicago. And that's the only way you're going to get an ovation from a Chicago crowd when you beat them in overtime, is if it's Patrick Kane getting the winner. 32-20-6 is the record for the Wings with the win, with the overtime loss. Chicago 15-39-5 on the season. I believe they're now tied with San Jose amongst the points. Shots on net, 13-12 Chicago in the first, 11-6 Chicago in the second, 11-8 Detroit in the third, 3-2 Chicago in the overtime. They played well. They outshot them 35-31. Power plays, none for Detroit, and Chicago scored on the only one they had. Hits 20-10 for Chicago. Reimer saved 33 out of 35. Best game I've seen him play in a while. And Mrazek, again, solid, steady, good. Mrazek, 28 saves on 31 shots. All right, last game on this board, Arizona and the Winnipeg Jets. And Winnipeg, it was that close, wasn't it? So, Ingram versus Hellebuck, 2 minutes and 6 seconds in on their third shot. Winnipeg scores. It's Scheifele from Morrissey, and they were going to have a big day. Coyotes look to respond, but the shots are 4-1 Winnipeg 5.5 minutes in. A net feed to Connor. There's a near miss there. Schmaltz with a net drive chance. That's held. Iafallo's denied and close. We get a power play for Arizona, and they score on it. It is Schmaltz burying a rebound. Gunther and Zucker with the assists at 13:45. The game's tied at 1. We then get a power play for Winnipeg. They score on theirs as well. It's Connor burying one pretty early. It was seconds in. Velarde and Scheifele with the assists at 14:45. So exactly a minute later, Winnipeg gets their lead back. Gunther to Zucker near miss. Jets go back to the power play. They score again. This time it's Velarde with a great deke and close. Scheifele and Morrissey with the assists at 16:34. So Velarde with the goal and an assist today. Not too shabby. Makes it 3-1 for Winnipeg. With 2:24 left, the Coyotes get a power play. That's killed off. So it's 3-1 Winnipeg after one. Second period. Lowry has a break chance. That's held. Jets press at 2.5 minutes. The shots are 5-0 Winnipeg at 3 minutes. There wasn't much going on for Arizona until they scored. It is Michelli tipping one in close. It was a good pass by Valimaki. And at 6 minutes and 11 seconds, suddenly Arizona's back in the game. It's 3-2. Iafallo has a rush chance that's saved. The Jets press at the half. Power play for Winnipeg. That's killed off. Jets press with 5.5 minutes left. Michelli's then robbed from the side of the net. But yeah, it's 3-2 Winnipeg after two. Third period. 1 minute and 4 seconds in. Schmaltz ties the game. He scores from Kerfoot. So, of course, coming into this one, the Coyotes with 11 losses in a row, really needing to turn this around. Coyotes then look for the lead, but the Jets press at 3 minutes. The Coyotes actually up in shots 4-1, 8 minutes into the period. Jets press, the Coyotes block, they clear. The Coyotes then press with 7 minutes left. The teams exchange rushes. More pressure from the Coyotes in the final minute, but we're going to overtime because that's what this board wants, except this game here. 33 seconds in on a 3-on-1. So there was a chance at one end, the puck goes the other way, and Connor buries it for Winnipeg. Morrissey and Scheifele with the assists. Winnipeg survives a bit of a scare here. They win 4-3 in overtime. They go to 36-15-5 with the win. With the overtime loss, Arizona 23-29-5 now 0-10-2 in their last 12 games. Shots on net, 14-10 Winnipeg in the first, 11 apiece in the second, 10-6 for Arizona in the third. Both teams had one shot in the overtime. Winnipeg's the one that matters. The shots were even at 32 apiece. Power plays, Arizona 1 for 2, Winnipeg 2 for 3. The hits, 30-27 for the Coyotes. Ingram saved 28 out of 32. Hellebuck saved 29 out of 32. So it was that close. And yeah, again, Winnipeg squeaks out a win here. Probably glad they won't see Arizona the rest of the season. And now I need to change boards. Okay, so yep, this game gets a board all of its own. So Nashville in against the Anaheim Ducks. I do have a Mighty Ducks pennant, which is good because they were wearing their 30th anniversary jerseys tonight. If you're going to lose, you might as well lose with style. So it's Lankinen versus Dostal, and again, Sportsnet Plus due to the overlap. I think the entire first period I had to have on my computer because it wasn't shown on TV. Terry out of the lineup tonight for the Anaheim Ducks. Early press by Anaheim. Carrier has a shot that's held. The shots are 2-0 for Nashville at 3.5 minutes. There's a press by the Preds at 4.5 minutes. Johnston's denied. Lankinen holds. The Ducks press at 8 minutes. We get a power play for Nashville. That's killed off. The Preds have a 3-on-2 that's defended. McDonough has a net feed that's held as Nashville gets some pressure. We then had a pretty good tilt between Lauzon and Carrick. So it was a quiet first period. Only 15 shots in the first period. Things would get a little noisier for the rest of the way. Second period, on a face-off win, Yossi blasts one at 1 minute to put Nashville ahead 1-0. Forsberg and Fabro with the assist. I put Fabry, and I'm just like, why Fabry? Fabro. So yeah, top corner glove side on that one by Yossi. The Preds then get a power play. That was killed off without a lot of trouble. Shots are 4-2 Anaheim 3.5 minutes in. Killorn has a chance. That's kicked aside. The Ducks press at 4.5 minutes. Things get pushy on a hold by Lankinen. Carrick to Jones. That gets picked off. The Ducks press at 7.5 minutes. Preds end up being forced to ice it. The Ducks with some momentum and had them pinned down. We then get a power play for Anaheim. They cycle. O'Reilly clears. The power play's killed off, and then there's a near miss for Minchukov after it's done. And then on a rush, Lundestrom ties the game from Jones and Leeson at 11:55. So 1-1 game right there. Ducks then press for the lead, but we get a power play for Nashville. Early save and clear. Pred cycles, cleared again. Power play's killed off. Then there's a toe save on Carlson, and that puck's held. 2:06 left. The Preds go back to the power play. Forsberg has a shot that's saved. Dostal holds. And honestly, was pretty good today. That power play's killed off. It's 1-1 after 2. Third period. Early power play for Anaheim. They cycle. The Preds block. They clear. They kill it off. And then on a face-off win, Forsberg gets one. Novak with the assist at 3:26. So both of these goals off face-off wins. We talk a lot about Anaheim and how they take too many penalties. Goals right off the face-off. That seems to be something they got to work on too, at least in this game. Ducks look to respond. The shots are 2-1 Anaheim at 4.5 minutes. Killorn has a rush chance. That's saved. Leeson fires one wide on a 3-on-1. Sissons has a net drive. That's blocked. Ducks press are kept to the outside, and at 8:43 on a turnover, just when it looked like maybe Anaheim was going to come back and tie this, McCarron buries a rebound. Fabro, I spelled it right there, and Sherwood with the assists. And then we get a press by Nashville at the half. It felt like that goal really kind of took some of the steam out of Anaheim's game. Carlson then has a tip shot. That's saved. The Ducks press with 6 minutes left. Gudas fires one wide. The goalie pull would happen with 2:55 left, and they do score. Leeson scores from McTavish and Henrique at 17:36. So they pull the goalie again right away looking for the tie. And at 17:58, from inside his own blue line, Nyquist gets the empty netter. O'Reilly with the assist to make it 4-2. With 1:40 left, the Ducks call a timeout. They pull the goalie again. 1:19 left. It's a delay game call on Nashville. So it's a 6-on-4. And Anaheim ends up hitting the goal line. It does not cross the goal line. It ends up being put right back out by McDonough. And yeah, the Preds end up winning this one 4-2 in Anaheim. They sweep their 5-game road trip. They go to 32-25-2, and they really kind of solidify their spot in the playoffs with this win today. On the Anaheim side, 20-35-3 with the loss. So can Nashville keep this going? We'll see how they play at home. It's a really good road trip for them. Shots on net, 8-7 Anaheim in the first, 13-12 Nashville in the second, 12-9 Anaheim in the third. They do outshoot Nashville, 32-29. Power plays, Nashville 0-4, Anaheim 0-3. Both teams with 29 hits. Lankinen 30 saves on 32 shots, and Dostal 25 saves on 28 shots. So Anaheim with a pretty good game. They just did not win it. Anaheim's been keeping games close lately. They're just not getting the wins. It's a young team. It's a team that doesn't have a lot of that top-notch, top-end talent. So it's kind of to be expected, which does not necessarily mean it's easier to watch if you're a Ducks fan. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event that you have not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.